hour. Several state officials across this country say they are fighting back against any effort by the federal government to impose new gun control laws that they consider unconstitutional. At issue, of course, is the president's call for legislation to ban assault weapons, as well as a number of executive actions and orders. Our next guest wrote a letter to Vice President this week stating, quote, any federal regulation enacted by Congress or by executive order of the president offending the constitutional rights of my citizens shall not be enforced by me or my deputies. We're pleased to welcome to the broadcast Sheriff Tim Muller. He's the sheriff of Linn County, Oregon. Sheriff, great to have you with us. I want to
Good to be here, sir.
I want to start by asking the reaction to those who are in your jurisdiction, those you serve as sheriff of that county. What has been the preponderance of their reaction?
Overwhelmingly supportive and positive, and that's actually an understatement. It's been my deputies every day since we sent this out. They've been telling me that they've had people coming up to them all day long and making a special point to come up and tell them to pass on their thanks for looking out for them and for standing up and being heard. So and here in Linn County, it's been very supportive.
And at the same time, in the state capital of Oregon, Olympia, you've got folks trying to impose gun control legislation at the state level. What is going to be the reaction there to that proposed legislation, in your judgment?
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll see what comes out of the state capitol in Salem, but it's all up for debate right now, and the legislature is going to be in session here very soon. So we'll see what happens, and we're definitely keeping our eye on it. And that being said, we're also the sheriffs in Oregon are also offering up our input to the legislature and letting them know where we stand on it.
Well, as you should, and you are an elected official as well as sheriff of that county, correct?
That is correct. Being the sheriff's kind of a unique position. It's the only elected law enforcement official in the country.
And the sheriffs play a vital role in law enforcement, as I think most people know and are appreciative of. You have expressed some concerns about the executive actions, executive orders of the president. Specifically, you said, as I understand it, you have concerns about number 6. It says, publish a letter from the ATF to federally licensed gun dealers providing guidance on how to run background checks for private sellers. That they were pretty well prepared for that letter, weren't they?
Yes, I believe so. I think that's going to require a little bit more explanation, or a whole lot more explanation on their part. If that indicates that they're pursuing prohibiting the private sale and transfer amongst private parties, sure, be interesting to see how they're going to approach that. And
I should be clear here, Sheriff,
or enforce it.
And correct me if I put this in any way incorrectly, but this is a letter from the Justice Department saying to all who hold licenses as federal firearm licenses that they are going to be engaged in providing background checks, going to the National Background Check System, the NCIS, to have a background check for gun shows and private sales, correct?
As far as the private sales go, I'm not 100% sure on that one, Lou. The gun shows here in Oregon that we do, up to and including myself as sheriff, I purchased a pistol here several years ago, and I went through the same background check as any other Oregon citizen would. They take your thumbprint and get your information on the paperwork you fill out. The dealer right there in the gun show calls the line for the Oregon State Police. They run a quick check on you through the law enforcement data system, and they determine whether or not you're a convicted felon and able or unable to legally purchase that firearm. And most of the people that I know and that the citizens out there, pretty reasonable group of folks we have here in Linn County, Oregon, and they understand and appreciate that, because it it does keep the guns out of the hands of people that would otherwise try to get them that can't legally possess a firearm in the state.
You would
So that piece of it works very well here.
You would support if you will, a universal background check. Then, is that correct?
I do. Yes, I do support that, and I have supported that, and a number of my colleagues as well. They support it as well. The part that I'm confused on, as far as as far as one of the executive orders go that we just discussed, is how that addresses the private transfer or sale between two just citizens who may be friends, and they want to. Somebody's got a 30-30 Winchester that the other guy's interested in, and so he's going to sell it to him. How are they going to accomplish that? Is there going to be, how do you track it? Is there going to be mandatory gun registration on that, which would obviously be something that I would be very opposed to? How are they going to know? Is it going to be on the honor system? Or there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot of dialogue on this before it's finally fleshed out, and I'd be definitely interested in hearing about it, and maybe even being part of the solution.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be part of the solution, and we appreciate you being with us to talk about. I hope you'll come back. When a couple of folks in Oregon, there in Linn County, want to sell one another a Model 94 Winchester, it ought to be pretty straightforward. I don't think we need a lot of government on that. Sheriff, we appreciate you.
I would sure think so.
We sure appreciate you being with us. We're going to have much more.